Hi everyone, and welcome to DYODD, and the first in what I hope will be a long series of videos that deep dive into the purpose of this series is to focus on a single company, put them under the microscope, and provide a holistic view of who they are, what they do, and how healthy they are. In doing so, I hope to give you, the investor, a solid foundation and a starting point to springboard into your own due diligence analysis in order to make the best decision for your personal investing strategy. Before we begin, I must stress clearly that I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. The information and opinions that I am about to outlay should not be construed as such and should only be used to supplement your own research and decision-making process. When you invest in the stock market, you put your capital at risk. If you don't understand the implications of this, I would suggest you seek out a financial advisor who will help you make the most informed decision that best fits your own attitude to risk and your investment strategy. Do your own due diligence. With that said, let's get into it. So the company I'll be kicking this series off with is NCino, an American fintech firm that specializes in cloud banking. NCino recently launched an IPO on the NASDAQ exchange. For those of you that don't know, an IPO is an initial public offering, which is a term used for when a private company goes public. Now, the world of cloud-based banking may not seem like the most attractive industry for a young millennial investor to place their hard-earned cash. I mean, whoever really thinks about the systems and tools that banks use to operate, other than the bank's employees who have to use them, right? But these systems are what connects you to your bank, be it through online portals, your mobile app, or through a call center, and they make it simpler for the banks to service your needs. And what you may not know is that for a long time, this was a subsector with very little competition, and it is only in the last 10 to 12 years that fintech solutions for streamlining banking operations have started to materialize. But technology moves fast and systems can become stale and dated very quickly if they don't keep up. With the world surging forward with the tech boom, we demand faster service and immediate results from our banks, and this is where NCino comes in. So what does NCino offer? Put as simply as I can, NCino offers a cloud-based platform, i.e. an operating system, used internally by banking institutions to deliver a holistic service. Built as a single multi-tenant SaaS platform, the NCino Bank Operating System is an end-to-end digital banking solution that is flexible, scalable, and designed to help reduce costs by improving employee efficiency and productivity. It aims to transform the way financial institutions operate, go to market, and interact with their clients, while delivering measurable return on investment through innovations in commercial and retail banking, portfolio analytics, and deposit account opening, creating a seamless user experience and simultaneously creating internal and regulatory transparency via their comprehensive warehousing, analytics, and reporting suite. The OS integrates with its client company's core accounting system and combines solutions for business processes, client onboarding, management of customer relationships and enterprise content, as well as data analytics and business reporting. In short, they provide end-to-end tooling that enables financial institutions to meet regulatory requirements, focus on profits, and remain transparent. Fundamental elements of the NCino Bank Operating System are built on the Salesforce platform, which allows them to focus their product development efforts on building deep vertical functionality specifically for banks and credit unions, while leveraging the Salesforce platform's global infrastructure, reliability, and scalability. Taking a look at management now, and this should be a staple of any serious investor's due diligence, as I shouldn't need to tell you that a CEO with a sketchy track record can be a red flag, and a deeper dive into anything of that sort would be recommended. Founded in 2012, NCino's strapline is built by bankers for bankers, which is a bit of a giveaway as to the background of their founding members. The main man and current CEO is Pierre Noda, whose background is more in the software side of operations, with management roles at Pioneer Systems and Unisys, where he also became VP. In 2005, Noda ran as divisional president at S1 Corporation, a fintech software house that was ultimately acquired by real-time payments giant ACI Worldwide. His tenure at both S1 and Unisys were upwards of 5 years, which already demonstrates a strong commitment to cause before you consider the 8 years he has dedicated to his own baby, NCino. CFO David Rudo's CV is an extensive list of impressive financial houses, including KPMG, JP Morgan, and Thrivent Asset Management. And while neither he nor Chief Revenue Officer Josh Glover are founding members of NCino, the latter at least has been with the company since the beginning. His only other role being at Live Oak Bank, which has strong associations with NCino's board of founders. Chief Product Officer Tricia Price leads the design team and has over 15 years of financial services and technology experience. Prior to joining NCino in 2016, Price held various positions at Primatics Financial, including head of global sales, and also at Fannie Mae. Co-founder Nathan Snell also professes a background in tech, traversing several fields such as HR, marketing, and most notably a product management role at Live Oak Bank. He is NCino's Chief Innovation Officer. Pullen Daniel appears to be the youngest of the group, with perhaps the least experience. Operating out of the UK office in London, his background only extends across Live Oak Bank, where he is director, and NCino, where he is exec VP and a senior consultant. Co-founder Neil Underwood is a former NCino board member. However, he boasts almost 10 years' experience at software house Brocat, where he was COO, and another 8 years as general manager at S1 Corporation. Underwood has co-founded a number of other tech firms besides NCino, such as Canopy Ventures, a venture capital firm that invests in early to growth stage fintech companies, where he is also a partner, Live Oak Bank, of which he is president, and also Aperture, DefenseStorm, and Payrails, who specialize in banking APIs, cybersecurity, and digital payments, respectively. All of the above, of which he is also a board member. Although he isn't posted in an official role at NCino, Chip Mahan co-founded and sits on the board and acts as an advisor to the firm, while also acting as a partner at the aforementioned Canopy Ventures and chairman and CEO of Live Oak Bank. Between Noda, Mahan, and Underwood alone, NCino would seem to be in secure and experienced hands. These aren't individuals who wind up companies or send them into administration. One look at Underwood's CV would tell you the opposite, in fact, that collectively they are encouraging the growth of new ideas and platforms, a very forward-thinking team. NCino's IPO went live on 14th July 2020 under ticker symbol NCNO. The initially forecasted price range was $22 to $24 per share. However, this rose to $28 to $29 a few days before, an early indication of the positive interest in the company's move to go public, and again rose to $31 just before flotation. The funding target was $182 million. However, by the time their stock became available to retail investors, it had risen more than 100% to $77 per share and closed their opening day at $91.69. They raised $250 million, approximately 72% more than their target figure. Prior to the IPO, NCino had received $213.2 million through 8 rounds of funding. The company derived their revenues in 2 ways: through subscriptions, consisting principally of fees from customers for operating system access, as well as maintenance and support services that are offered under non-cancelable contracts, typically ranging from 3 to 5 years, and professional services fees, such as implementation and support services, such as config assistance, training, and advice. NCino currently boasts a client base of more than 1,100 financial institutions, including Bank of America, Santander, Barclays, Allied Irish Bank, Yorkshire Building Society, and Truist Bank. 161 of their clients pay upwards of $100,000 per year, while 21 of them pay over $1 million per year. For fiscal years 2020, 2019, and 2018, they had subscription revenue retention rates of 147, 163, and 188% respectively. And if you'd like to understand how these high rates are achieved, you can pause the video here for a full explanation from their S1 SEC filing, which articulates it far better than I possibly could. Looking ahead, NCino's estimated revenue is $138.2 million per year, with an implied market cap of $4.6 billion. With an addressable market of $10 billion, if they play it right, NCino have a dearth of opportunity for expansion, especially in financial services where staff turnover is frequent and at all levels of the business, and also good word of mouth regarding efficient operating systems can spread from firm to firm. NCino have deployed this software to 10 countries, but only 8% of their business sits outside the US. That's a massive market yet to be tapped. They have also recently established a KK company to facilitate entry to Japan. As far as peers go, it's a mix of well-established old dogs such as Oracle FlexCube and younger companies making the same moves in other jurisdictions and with far less funding. As far as the more mainstay competitors go, NCino does well to command a 9.13% online domestic market share. As with most fintech operations, COVID-19 has barely made an impact. Financial institutions have hardly slowed down and have been one of the main sectors where working from home has been embraced fully. In 2018, NCino ranked 24th in Forbes' Cloud 100 list, an annual ranking of private cloud computing companies in the tech sector. In 2019, they made it to 20th place, the second highest of any fintech ranked company after Plaid. So in terms of upside, NCino has plenty. They have working proof of concept that is already in action and has been for several years. In terms of scalability, you only need to look back at the list of clients already on their books to see their OS can fit whatever size of institution requires it, and as banking operations evolve and grow more innovative, there is plenty room for expansion through new features and refinement of existing. They have already acquired 2 other companies in 2019 to improve their performance, and with their team, it's not surprising, and I would expect them to continue to acquire in this way. The strong ties to Salesforce, who are also one of their largest investors, also lends them credence. With only 8% of their business residing outside of the United States, as well as having several years more experience and clout than the majority of their up-and-coming peers, makes the potential for growth really exciting. Potential catalysts are strong. New institutional clients coming on board I would expect to be a regular news feature, and their established KK company has been done so to facilitate entry to Japan. Additional acquisitions and strategic partnerships are also highly likely when you take into account the company's youth and also the virtual catalogue of other tech firms that their founding team are involved in.
There's a flip side to that coin.
Right, you are, Bobby. And with NCino, the concern is mostly financial, with historic figures making forecasting particularly difficult and consistency something to keep an eye on. Their subscription revenue calculation model also feels a little convoluted and may skew figures year on year, but I don't see this as a major area of concern. The main detractor for me is the reliance on Salesforce, and I think if there is one area NCino should focus, it would be in becoming fully self-sufficient, taking 100% ownership of their proof of concept. If they can accomplish that and continue to refine their operating system, the potential for growth will ramp up through the gears. While I recognize that NCino aren't changing the cloud banking game, I also think it's tough to get disruptive in this sector. That said, there is massive scope for efficiencies across the industry, and what they are doing is user-friendly, intuitive, and easy on the eye. While it isn't an encouraging trend to see net losses increasing with revenue, there are plenty of companies out there that ran a negative for years before turning a profit. And with some massive players in the banking world up for grabs, a big fish could send these guys to the next level. As expected, the IPO came with a lot of energy at first before petering out a bit. Their price at the time of recording is on screen now, but I can see this being a slow burner on the market, a real long-term play as their reputation, which already seems to precede their bottom line, continues to grow. And with regards to the question of the day, am I invested? The answer is currently no. But that has nothing to do with the company and everything to do with my own investment strategy. Currently my eyes are on other plays, and I am not a fan of having too many stocks in my portfolio. But NCino is certainly on my radar, and should my strategy change, I would be looking for a good entry point to get involved. I hope this analysis has gone some way to helping some of you decide if the company fits your own strategy and appetite for risk, and as I said at the beginning, I would encourage you to do your own due diligence before jumping into any financial decisions. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate you letting me know by hitting the thumbs up and subscribe buttons, and if you'd like to see more deep dives like this, please let me know in the comments. This is my first foray into YouTube, so these shows of appreciation and any other feedback at this point would be massively appreciated and a good indicator of whether it's worthwhile continuing. Thanks again for looking, and I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers.